So even if you see that this is a real information war, a war of the mind, a war of the psyche, a war of the weak versus the strong, a war of the greed, and this is really about greed. I mean, people wonder why you got so much money, why you need more. If you have, billions of dollars and you live in a lifestyle that you spending hundreds of millions of dollars a year, you gonna want to keep making hundreds of millions of dollars a year. You know, greed, greed. And see, we get caught up in the nonsense and we don't realize what these words they give us. I mean, they have words to have the real power, these spells and so forth we cast on ourselves. And I keep telling you about the words that delude to slavery, the names that delude to slavery that we use, which subjugate us to all of these things, you know, all of these things that we wouldn't be subjugated to if we actually just cleaned up ourselves the way that we're supposed to be cleaned up and stop going into the lion's den, should I say. Following slavers, the ancestors of slavers, and begging for equality and a seat at the table instead of coming together and building your own table. Would that be common sense? Would that be logical? But a lot of you, you know, you don't want to take the responsibility to have your own government. You don't want to understand what self-determination is, and we're not going, get into all of that with the boredom thing here. We're gonna find something for you to understand that we can have a common ground on. So we're not going to browbeat you and tell you that you're wrong for what you think and what you feel, but you can't bring into the distraction factor opinions and then try to pawn them off as facts, because that's what's going on here. And that you have to use the utmost ability to be able to display your highest character, because we're going to pull the card each and every time. And if we got to bring facts and check you on the spot, that'll be done as well. So nobody wants to come and deal with that type of thing, because this is not a debate. We're not trying to argue with each other like a lot of people are. So now, when it comes to Charlie Kirk, in my opinion, and opinions do not alter the nature of truth. So when you state an opinion, you should make it clear that you are stating an opinion. My thoughts about what I saw uh, concerning his content, and this is not a plug at Charlie Kirk, but a lot of these conservatives are ultra conservatives in the manner in which they want to take things backward when it comes to rules, regulations. That's the Trump thing. Take back the rules, roll back the regulations. Let's go back to, the old days of, coal and fossil fuel and all of this other stuff. The things that, so-called started the great industrial revolution. But, you know, not just that in terms of economics, but in terms of, making sure that the wife obeys the husband and all of the culture uh, aspects of power and control over your home, your family, your finances, being a man. And in order for you to have complaints of this nature, you got to have some kind of insecurities. What kind of insecurities do you have as a man in America that will lead you to uh, create a crusade of this nature? Now, it may not have been created by you with the need. It may have been created by someone with the need to manipulate your desire to be heard, and nobody was listening. So a lot of people are good at that. They listen to you only to find out what you really hate, and then they bring out that hate. That's one of them authoritarian playbooks. It's the divide and conquer blueprint, and there are so many little aspects that will allow you to be able to manipulate a person and do them some real mental harm. And even the power of suggestion works just fine. It works real well, meaning you can tell a person something uh, in a position of power or wealth and convince them that that is the truth, and they will live with that.